well, she's not a coach. She's in my industry,
Mhm.
and she wanted to coach, and so I jumped in because she's really good at what she does. I mean, she's very successful and someone to aspire to because she's tenacious. It's done over perfect and everything that I'm not. You know, the done over perfect thing is a big deal for me. It's a hurdle. And so I thought I'm going to jump in. So I jumped in, and I was the only one, and I didn't realize I was the only one. And we had our first meeting, and I essentially gave her everything. My whole canine advocate idea. Oh God, I'm gonna get emotional. My whole idea, my landing page, my first 12 months of modules. So everything I was going to teach, plus my 5-year plan. And she said, "Oh, that's genius." And then I never heard from her again. And I thought I paid her the money and I didn't care. So money
Oh
is
my
not my goal.
gosh.
So I paid her and I just left it. I thought, look, I'm going to have to do this myself. So I did, and I'm here, a year later, but I'm still here. And yeah, the other day I uncovered that her goal is to be what I am. So the go-to expert for dog owners for canine health and well-being.
Has she used your stuff already, Angela?
No, she hasn't. So I fired a shot across the bows on Friday. So this is all fresh. So I fired a shot across the bows on Friday and essentially said, so this is a line in the sand. It's great that you're looking at owner education, because I think that that's where we ought to be, because owners have the power, not the professionals, and the professionals need to remember that. And I also referred back to the conversation 12 months ago where I shared all this information about my idea, my dream, my goal that had already been over a year in the planning. And
So I had something similar happen to me, Angela, and it feels horrible. And I understand, and it set me back like 6 months. So I understand where you're coming from, and I want to reach out and give you like a huge virtual hug. But one of the things that someone said to me, it happened to me because I hired a high-level coach, a very expensive coach that I was paying close to $8,000 a month to have, and it ends up that my competitor was also had the same coach and was really good friends. I even went and to a retreat here with that coach here in Thailand. I met her here and worked with her one-on-one. And she basically went to the US, and this person is a big competitor of mine. She has a bigger audience than I do. And the coach told her all the things that we had worked together on and all my plans for the next year and how I structure my inner. So, and even who I use. So I have experts that come in and work with my people. And she had the balls to reach out to my experts and say, "Do you want to work for me instead? I'll pay you more money."
Oh my.
So the coach gave all that information. I fired the coach by this time anyway. But one thing that someone in my community said to me is they said, "Jen, you are you and she is she, and she's had her ecosystem just as long as you have. And we get her ads and we get her podcasts and we get all the other things that she does. And we choose not to be part of her community. We choose to be part of your community because you are you and you're more accessible and who we resonate with anyway." And so that helped. I still kind of had a crisis of identity and restructured a whole bunch of things and touched things I probably shouldn't have. But I think that was all part of like maybe the grieving process of losing like kind of your IP there. And I did change some of my programs, but it also made me aware of being more authentic in everything that I do so that I stand out from the things that I have kept that are the same that she stole from me. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm sorry you went through that. It's just when you don't think like those people, it's just
Angela,
It really betrays your trust.
Angela and Jen, let me share something with you. I find it really relatable. I'm in a different industry, but it's like the same concept. Um, you know, I have quite a few copycats. I'm a musician and a DJ, producer, and an artist, and I have quite a few copycats that are trying to do the same thing. They would pick up same tracks and sequence them the same way in their sets. And the worst part about it is that they're my friends actually, and they talk to the same promoters and it's like book me, type of thing. And one thing I found out to be very true and helpful, copying is the highest form of flattery. So both of you, Jen and Angela, that means that you're doing it right. They're trying to copy you because you're amazing, okay? First, and then second, that would never be you. Because when you copy somebody, you don't authentically show up. And sooner or later, that wears out and they will move on to the next person to copy. Their authenticity will go down the drain.
That is so true. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. I love that we opened up immediately.
Sorry.
No.
It's just really fresh, and it's very upsetting. And she's coming to school, so yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry that I brought it up.
No, don't. I need to get it out my system. And there's obviously not enough snot to go around, so I have to share some more.
Wait, Angela, you said she's coming to school?
Yeah, but she's starting with something different, and then she's going to edge into what I'm doing. So I just need to kick my ass big style to make sure I am way ahead.
That's right.
You can do it. Anything I can do to help,
will.
I'm
This
in.
is so lit. I'm upset, but oh my God, my fire. People she underestimates me just because I'm like on a level. But I fired a shot and we need to, I'll join her community and I will keep my enemy close.
Yeah, the crazy part is how common this happens.
Really? How can people be like that? My God, I don't get it. We could work well together. It's crazy. I don't understand.
Unfortunately, it happens all the time. Like I shared, my friends did that, It's like super close friends. But then again, okay, bitch, you want to do this, do this. That means I'm that good. You follow me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
This Arda made a good point in the comments that it's a pretty good indication of you being onto something. And oftentimes, especially in this space, just because of the fact, and you'll come to it soon enough, just about everyone does, that if their system requires just pulling ideas from others and then copying or trying to dominate that particular area, they can copy most things, but they can't steal you. And what most people will find out is that is the most important part of the whole process. And all of the design and structure and colors and stuff like that, it's not as important as you think it will be. There's almost always this little spike of interest, like maybe not in the grand scheme of things, but just a little spike. And it's a trend that we'll see every now and then. Before I go further, has anyone else had these kinds of experiences where you're working on a business, everything's going well, and maybe even the person like right next to you ends up being the one that you couldn't really count on the most?
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mine was
Mike's up.
family.
Yeah, but
No,
they cannot show up as you authentically for a long time. You know, that's the problem. That like that wears out.
Yeah, it just changes.
Mm.
Pat, you said family.
Well, I'm an 8th generation beekeeper. I'm not the only one around here. And ours was in a local market where there's actual competition for products on shelves and stuff, right? So it was aunts and uncles who hear what we're doing because we're smaller than them, and then they're like, "Oh, well, we have the money, so we'll just do that instead." So it's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So yeah, now we're on school instead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And-
one of the reasons I came away from Facebook, so that I could do my thing, grow my thing, and no one, it's not the first time this has happened to me. So I was running a business in a partnership before, canine conditioning and fitness. And I literally walked away from it because I just thought, you're not my person. Your only value is money. My value is dog health. This is not going to work. And I left her with everything. And she took so much of my stuff. But I thought, well, it's all right. I've got it. There's stuff in here and I can make new stuff. So, and that's what I did. And I just didn't want it to happen again. It's just how it doesn't help, because you think, oh my God, who can I trust?
The people that the people that get to know you, Angela, the people in your community also will start advocating for you, and they recognize it. So with the story that I told, she started running ads to almost exact duplicate of a mini offer that I had, and I kept it secret. I hadn't told my community that it happened. After I saw this happen, I was like raging, and I went and told everyone. I was like, look what she's doing. But they started recognizing, they were like, hey, this is Jen's scale on Shopify stuff. Like, this is exact copy. And I had 2 people come to me and said they bought it, and she left my logo and my terms and conditions on the product that she was selling. So, they'll catch on and people see. So anyone that's clicked through that stuff, I mean, she was giving me free advertising. People saw my logo on her stuff that she sold. Like, hey,
Oh my God. I love
I was taking them to my funnel. So I was like, and I was wondering where these weird like blips were coming from. And I was like, where are these people coming from? And it was my product she tried to turn into hers and forgot some links. So, I mean, karma goes. I live in Thailand. This country is all about karma. And I truly believe it. And that's the energy. Karma will come around. And it's funny that this came up because I had a message today of an agency wanting to hire me for consultation hours to teach them how to run converting or build converting Shopify stores. And the first thought I was like, you want me to teach you my 17 years of knowledge so you can go and compete against me? But I thought on it for a little bit, and it's so funny, Goose. Your calls always are like the theme of whatever I've been struggling with that day.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought on it, and I actually put together a proposal because I thought maybe this is something that I can repackage and sell to other agencies, like my knowledge on how to make better Shopify stores. So sometimes it's just, like, how can I make this work for me?
And everything happens for a reason, girls. Like when you get out of after a while and you get used to the thought and be like okay with it and get out of this victim mentality, why me, be like try me instead of why me, and then know that everything happens for a reason, because that's going to lead to something else. I mean, look in your past, how many things has happened that you didn't know at the time why this is happening, but then later on, maybe in a year, maybe in a month, you find out that that happened, and if that happened, that didn't happen, then this wouldn't happen, and I wouldn't be who I am.
I think if I hadn't met you guys, so the people that I've met on school, I would still be so this happened on Friday and I'm already like, I'm kicking her ass. So it's only Friday, but if it wasn't for knowing and meeting and getting to know all of you, I genuinely think I would be sat here wallowing in victim for easily 2 weeks at least. and that doesn't help anyone. So appreciate. Oh my God, Mindy, start with
Yeah.
a better question. Go for the cheerful. I'm glad to get it out my system, and I tell you guys, I am so grateful for your support. I can't even express it, and that's not like me, because you know that I like words.
You're doing good.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're doing really good. The power of community.
that's
Yay.
right. It actually perfectly went with, I mean, everyone saw the last nuggie that I posted. I think it was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
It's
good.
about the emotional management thing. It's one of those things that, especially when you're building your stuff and you're getting your shit stolen and stuff like that. I mean, you can never really predict what will happen next when you're trying to build something. It's easy to forget to like properly manage yourself and the things that you yourself need as you sacrifice and slave to build this thing. And one of the biggest errors that I see is all these fundamentals that we all know better, right? But like Angela, the strength that you have to sit there and just calmly say, this is happening, this sucks. What do you guys think? And recover from that massive emotion because you're sharing it. That's it. That's the thing. That's why it's so important that those things come up and you do share them. Because as you said, without a space to vent it, you'd be wallowing for 2 weeks. That means it might take you 2 weeks to process what we could process in 30 minutes together. Right?
Yeah.
What a crazy way that emotions operate. Those dirty little
So-
bastards.
So what about a Goosify t-shirt with the slogan, "Who got this?" So that's my burning question.
I'm totally game. What color are we talking? Is it brown?
Oh God, no, it's not a brown t-shirt.
What color is it? Is it yellow?
The words can be brown. Oh, gross. Sorry.
Pink.
If you give me an arrangement of colors, I'm totally down for this. This is a great idea.
It could be a tie-dye.
It could be a tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, a tie-dye would be a great model for this. What?
And
So
then
you no, go ahead.
you can have a little shit in front and then say the thing
That's
on a
it.
tie. It would look so dope.
On the front it says "Pooh got this," and on the back it has a giant turd.
Yeah, nuggies.
A giant nuggie. That'd be super cute. Wow.
Okay.
And everyone has their own nuggie. Yes, that's it's so interesting, Angela. When you mentioned this, you said it with a lot of grace, and a lot of other people did at the same time. I can tell you from my experience firsthand that, I mean, no one's immune to this. We've even since I've been on school, there are team members that we've brought on to build a thing, taught them the roadmap, and then they have left immediately to go do that exact same product with the roadmap. And you know, what can you say? What can you do at that point? If there's anything that I learned from my period of time working with Sam as well, his perspective is the same, which is you just focus on your own stuff. And the karmic thing, like wish no one any kind of positive or ill will, but definitely the more time you spend on your own, the more energy that they cannot afford to place on their stuff, into continuing to sap yours. Yeah, exactly. Michelle's exactly right. Best revenge is success. So get used to it. People with good ideas will happen all the time.
I best get my arse in gear then and do some stuff.
Well, the
More
best thing,
Woo!
Yeah, the
Yeah.
more successful you are, the more you're gonna get those. So like, yeah, like you said, get used to it, you know. It's a good thing.
yeah,
You're doing it right.
yeah, right. So the best thing you could have is a community that supports you in the management of everything else, emotions plus, when that kind of thing happens. So, I mean, we're all kind of lucky in that case.
Right. So grateful to be here with you guys, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I feel
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely agree. Craig, you brought up a couple points earlier. Did you want to share? I always love when Craig comes out of nowhere with these. Oh, can you hear us?
I don't see Greg.
Oh, they've all gone and jumped off a tall bridge. That's because we started with depression.
No. It's not a bad thing at all. In fact, the happy moments are so because you've been able to like let the shit fly, which could be another shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one could be a yellow one with brown splatters.
With wings.
Yeah. There's all kinds of variations. I'm already cooking up all the different variations that we'll have here. Different lines that we'll run. You know, actually, I haven't updated School Drip in quite a while, so some new crazy colors and slogans like this could actually be a lot of fun. We were talking the other day about having team uniforms, because when we walk around, I've usually got the school hat on, but a crazy outfit, and then Tony's wearing a bucket hat. Vincent's got a giant tall Cat in the hat, which gets a lot of attention. People fucking love it. And then Yaya has a spinny hat, and that one also gets a lot of attention. So we were like, well, shit, we should probably just milk this. And I don't usually love the idea. I like that everyone's looking different, but having a uniform where everyone has their own version, kind of like Power Rangers, I feel like would be a lot of fun. So
Yes.
maybe something to consider for your squad to have like unique Power Ranger outfits. So I think we might put those up on School Drip here soon. I think I might have some time this weekend.
Sweet.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. Any other thoughts? Did anyone else want to share about something that they have made that was taken, or something that that'd be helpful to vent or share with the rest of us? That was a big challenge.
I mean, also in the dog training world, there's just this crazy divide of, positive cookies all the time. Never let the dog experience any stress in teaching or in everyday life. And then we have the dominate your dog and make them do stuff. Don't show them who's boss. And the camps are constantly fighting in social media, and I just cannot watch it. It's just so, no one's going to win. It's toxic. So I love school because there's no other, well, there is a couple, but I tend not to look at them, and I just do my own thing, and you can't change all the people all the time. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, just do your own thing. So kind of similar theme, but.
What's your take on that? What's your take on that? Like, once a school of like dominate the dog and school of give it a cookie, positive reinforcement. What's your thought on that?
Know the dog, see the dog as if they're your friend. So I called my business, paw in hand, decades ago, partners with your dog. So yeah, partners. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. I could break into a country song here. Anyhow,
I love it.
I love
anyone
that
know
song.
that one?
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah, so
you don't
like
know.
shopping
Yeah, I
with
know.
a friend. Sometimes you stop and look at teapots and you say, well, come on, wait for me. So give and take and being fair.
Just have a normal relationship with it and not see it as something above and under. I learned that from well, of course, it's my education also. But
Yeah.
what's the name again from the one in the UK? Susanna Cloutier.
Oh, she's not in the UK. She's in the US, but she's been my favorite for decades.
Yeah, she learned me freaking so much. And
wow.
she changed my life completely.
I was in a dark and dirty barn with her in cold Washington three decades ago.
She's so good.
Enough information.
Yeah.
What time is it?
So yeah, partners and learn from the people that resonate with you. That's the message, hey?
Wow.
I think as well, what happens in those worlds is everyone is so passionate about their view that they don't realize how dramatic they become and how biased They become, and so and it's ego. It's literally ego, and so they forget that the what we're trying to help here. We're trying to help the dog. So everyone's forgotten about the dog in all of this, and just like a lot of therapists will forget about the human. So it's I think that we come so far from our message, which is actually the same. It's the same goal, that we start infighting, and I don't get it. I have a nice ability to step back and see shit for what for what it is, but that's because I'm nearly 100.
Yeah, big time. Craig, did you want to? Is your mic fixed?
Yeah. Well, I hope. Can you hear me?
Nope.
Yes. Don't listen, Craig. You have nuggies to share. I can feel it.
No, honestly, you just mentioned therapist there, right? So that is me. I've been one for 30 years. So on this whole point about people stealing things, I very quickly had to get used to the fact that someone else is going to kind of do the same thing as me, because you're taught in therapy, you've got to follow the manual. You've got to do it this way. So if you've got somebody who is bipolar or depressed or an addict, you've got to follow these steps. So really, the only thing which differentiates one therapist to the other is themselves. And that can't be taken away. So I had to learn that really early on, that the only thing that really was ever going to differentiate was me. So even though, you know, someone in the clinic that I've got in London, there are many different therapists, right? So literally the person next door to me could be going through exactly the same process with a client, but they're not me. So they are going to get different results at a different rate, and at a different speed that may or may not reoccur. Like there's all of these then differences which come out, even though they're kind of following the same step-by-step process. So kind of just reinforce what everybody says, Angela. Who gives a fuck that people have nicked what you've done? No one will do it like you have done it, basically.
Ooh. Cheers, dude. It just pisses me off because no one in this planet had thought about teaching everything around one subject with one object in mind. And but I am on it. I'm on it. And all these nuggets and these shares, it just literally gives me Duracell power.
Love that.
You know, Angela, I don't want to throw like a salt in your wound or anything, but there's something to consider. You said you said you shared all of your info in a meeting, correct? Was that like a virtual meeting that you were recording?
Yeah, it's recorded. I have everything.
So how is the law structure are you in England? Yes.
Yes.
So have you thought about getting a good lawyer? And
I could probably take a lot of the action myself. So my background is in law. And credit management. She doesn't know this. She probably thinks that I've been working as I am, and you know how I am, right? So I just, I'm light all the time, but I have a lot going on in here.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I will, if that's why I'm going to join her group. Because the second she jumps over the line, then we will have serious conversations.
Well, at the same time too, the best way to get back at someone who's taken a program or a concept or even the model of what you're doing is truly success. And if there's anything I've learned, although I'm sure there's exceptions to it over the years from it, it's that the longer you will ever spend chasing down someone who did something wrong, the more that you just fuel the energy in their direction. The best you can do is just keep building what you're doing and keep focusing on you and ignore the rest that's happening. Because that they can't be you. They'll never be you. And that's how
win so hard that you forget about them. You don't even remember they exist because you're so successful and you're so busy doing your thing, being you, that it doesn't even matter. Like, who's that person? What do you mean? What are you talking about? You from 3 years from now is not even, you'll remember it, but like, you're not going to care, right?
Yeah. Do you
that's right.
remember that time? Where's the fly spray?
And certainly a person like that does not have access to a community of this many people being like, yeah, fucking forget about it. Just keep on doing your own thing. Yeah. You're already ahead. You just can't tell yet.
And we'll kick them from Goosify if they try getting in here. Good vibes only. We're not going to bully them, but we don't want them here.
You know, actually, one of the things I was going to say to end this part of my thought was that a lot of times, I think, where was the last time? I think it was in Southeast Asia. The last time I heard, like, there was a whole phase of positive vibes only. And while I love that concept, like, the road to positive vibes only is quite tumultuous. And it's not necessarily this, like, I'm just going to ignore that bad things happen, which is a very big difference, right? So if we're going to shorten that summary of, like, hey, positive vibes only, the people that I would usually hear say it the most often would be the first to radicalize a very basic conversation. So that's another thing to keep in mind along the lines of this one. It's not worth the energy most of the time to just it's energy that just shot in their direction, always.
Yep, true.
Yeah. And we all, the longer we're all doing just building something, you'll always find someone that is like, oh, that's cool. Maybe I can just rip this exact thing and then go find success. And it's just never going to work.
Oh, it's new to me. I lived in the corporate world so long that I just don't get it. I don't. But I guess they have the same thing in corporate businesses. People ripping out their.
If you've ever wanted success, I mean, imagine you're in these communities on school because you want to be growing your business, and like, you know, if you want it to happen faster, it means the shit's going to have to happen faster. And you know you're legit when people are stealing from you. So
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, you should get an award. I think you hit the mark. Yeah, give me those kids, baby.
Give me an award. I need an award.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks,
Wow.
guys. Honestly, thank you. You've no idea what this means.
Yeah, absolutely. You're very welcome. And good on you for sharing that stuff. It's tough to do, but those of you that do it recover instead of, how many did you say? Instead of 2 weeks, 30 minutes. Or in this case, an hour and a half.
I can already see the change in your energy.
Yeah. I can already, that other person is shriveling up right now as we speak. It's out, the energy is not flowing anymore.
It's because she knows I'm watching.
No, it's because you're moving on. That's why.
Yeah.
Amazing. Do we have any other thoughts to add on this before we go on to the next part? Louis, Des, I'd love to hear from you.
So cute.
That's Ivy.
I have a couple thoughts. Number one thing I think of, like, they hate us because they ain't us, and if your stuff is worth stealing, then it's good. So just be kind of happy that, you know, somebody's ripping off and duplicating what you have. So yeah, I mean, that's the way I see it.
Thank you.
Nice, Louis. Des?
Sorry. In terms of response to the thing, I only joined at the end, but this is actually my bag, is dealing with emotion and trauma and conflict. So I'm a behavior analyst, among other things. So I think it was really well handled, and it was quite nice about the fact that Goose had done that post recently about emotion and being 1 and 2. So I think the point really is it's all about processing and having an avenue to do that. And so thank you all.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes,
Beautiful.
hell, you would have a full-time job with me. You wouldn't need to take on any more clients.
And as a voice narrator, that was fantastic. I want to hear that again.
It's I am in the UK as well, actually, Angela. So
Oh, cool. I love it when that stuff works out. Yeah, yeah. I think he's absolutely right. When it comes to coming back up after big hits, you almost always just have to you just got to be able to process that shit as efficiently and completely as possible. That's always the way to come back. Let's see, a couple more, and then we'll go on to the next thing. Arda, did you have anything to add about this? Have you had any of these experiences yet?
Not yet, no. I'm
All right, brace
very
yourself.
early on my journey.
Well, when you're finally ready to have your first, what would you antagonist? Oh, it's gonna be great. You're gonna have an awesome time. What a life adventure it'll be, and we'll be here to receive you, man.
And you'll know you've
Yeah.
made it.
Yep. That's how you know. Yeah, that's how you know you're in phase. You're in the next phase, is because that thing's been happening. Yeah. Wow, lovely. Okay, well, thank you all very much for that fantastic category of things. I would love to pivot over with all of that energy into our next one, which is going to require us to all pick a different. What do you call these? Are these filtered? No, not filtered. Filter? Yeah, filter. So now everyone can get into the part. Don't forget, this one's really important, and I had forgotten for a long time. They're different on the phone versus how they are on the computer. But you can choose any. You can use a spaceman, a strawberry. Remember, one of the really important parts of processing everything in business is you've got to, in order to really focus on it, you've got to let it be a little bit silly from time to time. So I encourage all of you to pick that. Or there's also, hold on, there's also accessories. Oh, so you click on your image. Like if you see a stack of people, you click on your image in the middle, and then pick your little thing. It might be different on mobile for those of you who are on mobile, but there's no way you can lose when you're a pirate or a dog or a cat, or you have an octopus on your head. So.
I'll give it back.
Okay, sorry, I think you lost me for a second.
I'm driving, but I would participate if I was driving.
It's all right. We know. I believe you, Louis. Jen, I didn't know you would look so fabulous with a beard. It's lovely. I love that one. All right, so I'd love to make this next little chapter a focus on, now that we know how to be resilient a little bit, how do we start building in the right direction? So yesterday I posted, as Des mentioned, about emotional management. What's maybe one big roadblock? It could be personal or it could be structural, that we'd like to get started on for, in a very practical sense. Reclaiming the star, getting the star, keeping the star, making sure that your community is popping off. I want to jump right into that, especially now that we have such a group of animals. Hey, is that Ryan? I see Ryan and Kevin are on this one. What's up, dudes? There we go. Kevin's cake. Good choice. Who's someone that's having a struggle on there? Oh, Dragana, you're here. Perfect. Did you want to share a little bit about, I think you were having an issue with it, right? Mindy mentioned something.
Hello. I'm
What's
the
up,
little,
dude?
what am I? A unicorn?
You're a
maybe?
unicorn. Yeah.
Look how
Solid
pretty.
I love it.
So I want to reclaim my star back. I lost my star. I was, I think, pretty inactive as a owner of my community. The last couple of probably weeks, trying to focus more on my free community and getting the engagement up. Now the free community is like raving. There's like a lot of activity there. The engagement is like boom, going up. with 150 people who are participating in a free challenge, which is amazing. And now I'm like, okay, how can I juggle like both, right? How can I be there? What are like the strategies I could implement?
Beautiful. Okay. You went with what we were talking about before to get that engagement, and it's been working.
It has been working. Like the ladies are definitely showing up in the free community and posting a lot. And I do have also still a lot of engagement in the paid one. So I don't know why we have like ranked lower on the discovery, but we are down from like 28 to 37 in health.
Okay.
And
All
I don't know why that is.
This is going to be so much fun to take. Yes, you are at position number 37, it looks like. Oh, okay. You guys, make sure you pay attention to this one. This is going to be so much fun. Okay, here we go. So let me go ahead and, is it okay if I share your metrics?
Sure, let's go.
Okay. So let me go ahead and
I'm on the phone. I hope I can see it, but just go ahead.
Let's go ahead and try. I'll say it out loud too, so we can Marco Polo it if it's tough. All right, here we are. So let's go ahead and find Ghana. Okay, so we're first going to look at let's look at the free, the paid community first. Oh, wait. Oh, I guess my other account is it. Okay, so we'll look at the free one first. Maybe it's the, darn, maybe it must be the CRM one that's in. I'd have to go in on a different account. Let me see. There's another way we can hack this. Let me change the screen.
You're such a hacker, Goose.
I'm a sneaky sneak. All right, here we go. So currently, this is a tool that a friend was showing me recently. All right. So yeah, 37 in ranking.
You can see how it's declining, the paid one, and the other one is like trending up.
Okay, beautiful. But this one is, wow, incredible. 142. And the difference in members is 4,000 to 145. Okay, excellent. So I suppose we don't need to be staring at this side. But basically, from you said you're on your phone, right?
No, I'm now on my desktop.
Oh, you're on your computer. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you share your metrics on your paid, on the back end of your paid, and then we'll look at the free.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be, so anybody that's planning on having a free and a paid community, which should be your goal at some point, like that's like you should start with a single one, at least in the current structure until school launches tiers. But after, when you have a free and a paid, there's a method to this madness, and this might be one of the first times we get to look at it all together while it's happening. So this is going to be super important. You're going to love this, Dragana. So go to metrics on the bottom, please.
The paid one?
Yeah, in the paid, and then scroll to the bottom. Okay, and so starting at the end of June, it started dying down a little bit. What's the difference between the last bright green square?
It's not working. Wait.
Right there, that one. So 1,000, and then the next one over is to the right, 500, 500, and then show me this week. Oh, okay. So this has just been trending for a little while. Okay.
It's summer holidays. People are on vacation.
Sure. Yeah. That happens as well. Okay. So then go ahead and please show me. And this is actually pretty good for a community with only a couple hundred people. Go ahead and switch over to the free, please, and show me the metrics there. And you guys will get what we're doing here in just a second. Damn, look at that spike. All right, so yes, clearly it's working. Great, 856, and show me the next two, 680, 515. Okay, and then show me the ones before that. Oh God, there's some with none.
Yeah, I mean, it was that. It was a dead community. Like
amazing. Okay, so whew, fantastic. So you can stop sharing now. You have about 5,000 in your free, is that correct?
4.4.
Okay, and then you have about 200 or so in your paid.
140.
140. Okay. Now, when we're talking about structuring between a paid, a free, and a paid community, let's say everything's going great. You definitely need that paid one set up, but you need to feed warm traffic to it. As a little bit of a background, do you want to mention really briefly, so everyone has context here, what was it that we changed with that community to bring us to where we are?
Yeah, so I started promoting on Instagram mainly, and in my emails, weekly emails to my email list, free challenge. And so this community was very, very dead. And we gave away kind of the stuff that we did previously paid, right? So what we would offer as a mini offer for like $33, we were giving that away for free, plus having access to us coaches for like 30 days, helping them with the implementation of the training and the nutrition side of things. And so inside of the classroom, I was blocking out everything that is not important, and we were focusing on making it like super, super easy with just a couple of steps, also with some like client success stories. And that's it. On Sunday, we had a kickoff call. We had a lot of people joining the call live, a lot of ladies watching the replay. And I think what I'm pretty good at is actually creating the traffic, right, at the front end, and also being on camera and talking to the people, because the engagement after that is just like people are going wild. They loved it, and they're writing actually a lot. So this is what's going on here.
Yes. And so prior to this, she had the star because the engagement level was so high in her paid community. However, the leads were mostly dead, and she had a 4.4 thousand person community in the free. So obviously there was a machine just waiting to be used there. So she's in this transition point, which means that likely you lose the star in the paid, but you drive up all the engagement there. So how do you balance these two is essentially the question that we're facing here, and will ideally be in front of on everyone's roadmap going forward. Okay, so a few things to keep in mind. The first one is when you're in the paid, people are paying to have direct access to you. So that is really important in the long run. That's the main thing. However, of course, as we know, we go over this a lot, Guru model is the single best way to grow a community, free, paid, whatever. So if you're trying to kickstart something dead, as you can see from the spike that she had, she did it herself. Now, over time, that's not as sustainable, because if people can get access to you for free, sometimes, especially if you're trying to like upsell to other products, there's not as much motivation to engage, because there's not as much of a difficulty to access. You're very accessible, which is basically what it comes down to. So we want to, this is great for starting off. It's not necessarily what we want to have going forward. So after maybe a month or two of doing this, the goal always should be to have, if you have this competition in the free, a team member or someone ideally is the one running that challenge, and you show up as like the celebrity introduction.
Like my husband, for example, who's
Exactly,
taking over right now.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have set it up like this. So the people, when we have in the start here section with all the templates that we have prepped for them, they would always tag Yannick or tag our coach and not me. So they don't have actually access to me directly.
Beautiful.
And they try to tag me, right? I see that they want to have a piece of
Of course, but
my-
they can't get it. That's right.
want to have like a little bit of attention.
Yes, so you are exactly on the right track here. Perfect. So now that you've done that, we'll zoom out for a second to understand the direction that you're trying to go. So essentially, you had the star because of your high ticket community. That meant it was hyperactive, especially within your space, but it's also benefiting from like you having constant engagement with it. Ideally, in the long run, that's where you're providing your service and not necessarily tied to the engagement levels, which is your star. Maybe that happens as a consequence of what you're doing, but that doesn't need to be the goal. And in fact, because you have a 4.4 thousand member community, that is a great place to get and keep the star relatively easy, because imagine having a car wheel that's just much, much larger. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of energy to get it up and running, but after it starts going, you're solid. So you're going to keep doing this, putting in as much energy as you need, you feel like you need to on that side. And actually what's going to happen, they're both in the same space, right? They're both fitness on school.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is your high ticket one will fall while your free one climbs, and your free one is going to be the new one that gives you the star by pure merit of how many people are there. Especially considering, this is something we go over a lot too. There's two kinds of people that you'll ever have in your community. There are people that pay, so they give you money, and there's people that give you their time. And you need both. A community thrives off of both of those things. And who gives you the most time than when you're giving them free access to stuff? And they'll always be there. There's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, you want to incentivize a good degree of it as well. So actually, you're in a great situation here with this one now coming up 142. I would probably say if this continues, you'll, by the end of this month, start seeing this maybe take over the star. So you're going in exactly the right direction here. Now, that assumes that everything continues. So let me ask you, have you run into anything that has been more challenging other than losing the star from the paid? Has there been anything else in the free that's been like, oh, I don't know if I can sustain this, this might not work?
No, I mean, we have me, we have Yannick, who's taking care of all the replies, and then we have also a coach. So I feel pretty set with that. We have a ton of content, so we will share every 3 days, maybe a podcast episode or something else. Here he is.
Yo, what's up, Yannick?
Hi.
That's awesome.
Share like every 3 days, probably like a post, right? And send it to all members and make it engaging in like, hey, drop your favorite gift that describes your mood or something that is like very easy for people to reply to, nothing like too heavy. And kind of like my idea was to share like myth busting stuff on there, like things they have seen where I kind of position myself contrary to that, but then also like personal stuff, right? So here, for example, it's purely like storytelling about my journey, and that's definitely something that the ladies can 100% relate to, and I think that's a secret sauce.
Wow. You know what's really cool about this is you've got the community thing down. Like clearly your business was meant to be on school. You should have seen, we had an IRL in God, where was the last city we were in? It's all flash. Budapest. Yeah, Budapest. And thank you. And so we there was a couple that had joined. They had just joined school. They were running an AI community, and to their credit, they were trying. But whenever I said anything about sharing who you were, about sharing things that were unrelated to the particular goal, the skepticism was so heavy. We spent like an hour and a half trying to just crack this nut. I don't know if we actually succeeded at the end. So what you're doing right now, don't change. It's going fantastic. You're still the celebrity, which is really important. That's a little bit hard to access. And as long as you keep this, like maybe even announce, I might go as far as announcing maybe another couple of prizes that go to a few people, like to really add some groundswell to it. You could, with some of the same creativity you're already doing, guarantee that you'll have the star by the end of the month within the free community. And it will be much easier to sustain, as I mentioned earlier, to sustain the star there than it will with the paid. Also, why is this pivot more important? Well, Dragana is getting some degree of these people hyperorganic from school too. So when you have a ranking community that's like, let's say top 10 on leaderboard, or on Discovery, do you want it to be a paid thing with a lower conversion rate, or a free thing with a much higher conversion rate? If you ask me, I would say the higher conversion rate. I would rather have a lower barrier to entry in order to do that. So if we fast forward 1 month after taking this new approach, basically you will have swapped out communities as far as which one's delivering you the star, and now you have full reign to just focus on the delivery in your paid, rather than making sure people are hyped and giving activity. And in fact, maybe they can do some of that still within the free. So you're actually going exactly the pace that you should be.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. How's it feel?
Good. I'm excited.
Fabulous, man. Yeah, that's
Thank
great.
thank you for the input when you were visiting in Berlin, right? Because probably I wouldn't have done the challenge this August. It was just like, okay, Goose gave me this little like idea of planting the seed in my head, and I was like, okay, let's do this. And so we were like making all those posts on Instagram, preparing all those emails, very last minute. It was, I think, the last week of July. Let's make a challenge. Let's try how that goes. And we had over like 340 signups for it. We have, I think, 150 people like actually participating. So I think that's amazing. And now the next challenge will be towards end of this month to upsell them into the paid one, right? So this is something where I'm still a little bit like, I don't know how to approach that. But
yeah, so that will exactly. So that'll be your next challenge. I mean, good on you for taking the advice and running for it. That happens like 1 out of 5 times. So it's awesome to see that work. The second part that you're going to run into after this, which is according to you will happen at the end of this month, is making sure to capitalize on conversions for this. So I mean, we can talk about it as we get closer to that thing, because I imagine you're pretty far into what you're doing now. But something to keep in mind is that one of the biggest pieces is just making sure that you're gathering through the month the biggest wins that people are having, and pointing out how this can happen consistently, which is everyone's issue, is like, well, how do I make sure this success keeps happening? The stuff that's extra consistent, the stuff that happened with you that didn't happen with other coaches. I'm sure they've had lots of other ones in the meantime. Any kind of really dramatic win, because those are going to be the things that you want to point to, like, hey, this shit just happened this month, right? Like 2 weeks ago. And maybe even like if you're having a group call, if you DM a couple of them to come on stage with you, the proverbial stage with you, right? That would be, I mean, at that point, you're doing like a really high level webinar, but everyone just did the competition all together. So your engagement at that level should be really, really high. I know that, Michelle, we also talked about something recently. One way, I mean, not everyone's ready for it off the bat, but when you have like a tool, an app, something that you can start delivering to people, it also eases the conversion process. A lot of people will always be on the fence a little bit, not quite ready to go. And so once you implement that, or even just start pre-selling it, that also helps a lot, either pre-selling or just giving it away for free. Because I mean, you have so many eyes at this moment that every strategy you can possibly play, let's play it. That's probably the best way to do it.
thank you.
Yep, you got it, Dragana. Cool. How's everyone feeling? Do we have any questions about
that? Was actually sick, because what Dragana's gone through, I'm like doing the exact same thing. Like, you know, with a challenge. I think I spoke to you about it, but ours is for music. We're doing a 7-day one. And so Josh, he runs the free community, and I'm doing the paid one. He's already got the star, but since starting it, the activity has just skyrocketed. And I think we're probably going to get it in like a week or so. So, because we went down from like 40, like 50 something to like, I'm thinking we're like 38 now. And it's been really good getting all these members in, and we're like, oh my God, like it feels sick just hearing the cha-chings, but then we're like stressing out because like, fuck, how are we going to keep these people in? That's the next thing, right? And so we're like freaking chasing bloody chickens everywhere, just thinking, fuck, should we do this? Should we do this? Should we sell that? Should we sell this? how are we going to do it without seeming like too much, so something desperate. And I think what you said there really like answered the question, right? And I think what was really good is showing up, just because like they don't expect to see me like in the community every day, and then so like I try and send them a message when they join on Instagram as like a voice note, so they don't they know it's me. It's not like a random message, and they're just like, whoa, it's crazy. But it's just like so much work, and I'm like, far out, like it gets quite overwhelming, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure like you're doing the challenge for like 300-400 something people. Like we just done it for like the first week, and it was we just got 100 DJs and producers in the group from everywhere. And then in the kickoff call, which we call it the same thing too, we had I had to do 3 different calls booked. So in the morning, in the like early afternoon, and then late afternoon. And it's just funny because you get the Yanks and the Canadians, and in the morning, then like in the afternoon is like all the Australians and New Zealand, and then you got the Europeans at nighttime. And so it was it was crazy. But it's just like, how am I going to keep all these people from leaving, and we were trying to be transparent and be like, guys, it's free. I'm not trying to sell you anything. You can leave after 7 days if you want, but I can tell you right now that like the system that we have, like, I don't need to sell you. Half of you guys are probably going to stay because it's going to benefit you. And I think they like that transparency, so that they don't feel like there's anything that we're trying to sell them at the end. And but like Josh and I, we're so like, we're too scared to go and sell someone. So we're like, maybe, we should maybe make like a graphic to show them how to leave. And then, Josh was like, should we get them on a call to make sure that, if in case they leave? And I'm like, no, you don't want to encourage them to leave. It's like, we've indirectly done something good, because now for them to leave, they actually have to take action. And for them to stay, they don't have to do anything. They just have to stay. So if you can make it like comfortable when they're on like that 7-day trial, and by that time it gets closer to the second cha-ching, we have to like really, butter them up and everything, kind of almost like a transparent but low-key distract them with some shiny objects to make sure that they don't like they don't leave. That's where it gets quite stressful.
No, this is fantastic. So yeah, you're right. You're in a very similar situation now. I would love for everyone to imagine, and Quincy, I'm talking directly to you here though, and to you, Dragana, because it's all kind of related. So anyone that's having this issue or kind of working on it at the same time, Michelle, we also we talked about this before. The hard part when you're running these challenges will be what feels like the gear shift into sales, right? Because that's really the big thing that's happening here, is you're delivering, like, in actuality, all of this energy and time and stuff to help them get these transformations in their lives, and they're grateful, right? But are they grateful enough to buy the next thing? So most of the time when we're starting out doing this, especially in the structure of a free community, oftentimes we can have what Quincy's approach was just now, which was like, but we're not trying to sell anything. We want to make sure that you're just here, you're just enjoying your time. But I mean, I guess we should maybe try and sell them something, right? What I would like us all to imagine is us from that position 1 year later. What are you like in 1 year as a community leader? Because probably at that point, that mindset, if you could sit down and talk with that version of you, you would probably be able to see, hey, my shit makes a difference. Like, you know it now, but do you know it, right? And when you're in that state, like, you're actually seeing the deliverables, the change, the gratitude, what that should unlock when you imagine this later version of you is your ability to say confidently, by the way, I hope you are appreciating all of the changes that are coming to you, and they will stay free for as long as you want them. However, if you want this to become easier, faster, lower risk, I have this other thing that's here. And also, it takes care of me to be able to deliver this to more people for free. And that's it. Once you're able to be in that headspace, that is when you're truly being aware and existing kind of in this leadership position that you already are in. Someone who's guiding them, like someone who the person that they need in their lives. So if we come back, what that should look like in practicality is you start packaging them. Quincy, we talked about this, I believe, last time. You have a lot of different tools and resources that you're giving them. You consolidate that and you call it a thing, right? This is what you get, right? They may not be getting, like, even if it's not the most practical thing in the world, it gives them something to chew on, something to hold, that then when you are coming in and you're giving them more information, more stuff like that, it just feels like more. And that's the kind of thing that speaks loudly to a person at level 1 or at level 2, right? So that they can get to level 3. I bet you if we all look at us 1 year in the past, a lot of times we wouldn't even be able to understand, right? Oh, the things I thought I needed, I didn't need. I needed these things in order to get to where you are now. So you need to use that same method of understanding that it's a little bit harder to predict, but when you get the data, you can continue to predict it most of the time, which in this case essentially means when you're delivering a free program or a short campaign, your ability to see these results and really own them as your own, deliver an extra something, a freemium something, a cool little side gadget thing, it helps them buy what they want so that you can give them what they need. And maybe it is the tool, but a lot of times it's just more of you. That's about it. I think from what I've seen, there's no silver bullet here, but from what I've seen, if you're doing, say, a month competition or a week competition, usually if you start your upsell, if you sprinkle it in periodically, this can work. I think it's a little bit sales pitchy. My favorite one that I've seen is usually you start at about the halfway point and you start pointing out the pains that they're dealing with. So let's say it's a health or fitness thing. I mean, doing something for 30 days is fucking hard, right? So imagine coming in at the 15-day mark and be like, all right, we're 15 days in. You guys are halfway there. Do you want to make this easier on yourself? I've got the answer. And this is exactly what they're looking for. They're primed. They literally could not be, they could not be more receptive than at about the halfway 60% mark. And that's probably where you want to start considering, okay, this is where you get this tool of yours involved, this new upsell bit involved, any of those things where you throw in those bonuses. Is that helpful at all, Quince?
Yeah, 100%. I think like that was like a big, like since we had that conversation last time, I think I just refined all the tools. So I'm just like trying to build like an ultimate system, basically like a pocket companion for anyone who's in the music industry to do anything. And because that was kind of like a realization that I think what Josh and I thought would be like the shiny object is probably not the shiny object to these upcoming DJs and producers, right? To them, it's probably the most obvious things. Oh, sample packs, or this thing that helps you make your artwork, or things like that, where like I've had those tools that I created myself for years, but I've never like published it or like promoted it. And I'm like, fuck, that's the shiny object, that and then I like, yeah, that's what they want. It's like the tool. Yeah, you're so right, because it's like what I'm trying to teach is like content, but then I like had a thought today with Josh where I was like, man, it's like we're telling these people like if they want to go to school and be successful, right? Like they have to get good grades. It's like, let's go, study challenge for 7 days. That kind of sounds freaking boring. But if it's just like, hey, let's go and study, we'll get your grades up, but we'll get drunk every 2 days or something. I don't know. But like it just makes it sound fun, or like you get free food or something, right? Where it's like not as big as the actual prize, but it's the commodity that they'd rather have. And that kind of just like shifted it's just like packaging it, I think, properly is super important, right? Where it's just like, oh yeah, this is an AI tool here that can help you with content. It's if you said it like that, then it's just like, oh, okay, cool. But if it's just like, if you do this 7 days and you can show that you can make content, you will have access to this for $47 instead of $400, you know, just boom. Then the perception, right, is just like, and I'm just like, oh shit, that's what I need to do, you know, make it all look pretty and everything.
Yeah, big time. Wow, that's amazing. What a great epiphany. How does that feel? Do you feel like you've got like a good direction now?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I've just been like, I think I've barely freaking slept since we called last time. I'm just like freaking on this shit, trying to vibe code my way, and like get these little bots off the Chat GPT and into my own thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's giving me something to really fixate on, and yeah, and like Josh has been was like, you know what, screw this. I'm just gonna go and message everyone in your followers, bro. And so he's just hit everyone up. And then we just use a system to be like, these people are going to know who you are. And if they don't respond, you do the follow-up. And I do the follow-up via, you know, just I middle click everyone's Instagram, just do like 30 of them. And then I'll just go and then voice member, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. You coming through the sprint? Blah, blah. Hits every time. And so we're like, oh my God, we found a way to get them in. Now we just need to know how to get them to stay. It's like scary.
Are you using the hot section on Wingman?
With all the people when they've stayed and like been in there.
Yeah,
no, we haven't even used it. I'm just fucking completely realized wish that would have actually made it so much fucking better. Oh my God.
So
what the fuck? Yeah.
So in the CRM part, if you click on the hot tab, it'll help you identify the short list of the warmest leads that are there. Some of them, of course, just want to spend time, but it will pretty accurately tell you who are going to be the best to upsell.
Yeah, holy shit. I gotta write that freaking down because we were like thinking about it. We were literally like, Jesus, like how are we gonna keep up to these? Because we just try and do and then think about it later. And then if like the action first and then fucking worry about that shit. And then so we're like,
that's exactly how you should be doing it. Exactly like that. And that's why that feature exists on the CRM tab, is because if you just focus on the engagement stuff, those that become the most active are the ones that are clearly the most interested.
Yeah. And then it's just like it's just crazy because like that you feel like, oh, they're all gonna stay and everything, but it gets like as it gets closer to like 7 days, I'm just like stressed out, you know. I'm like, I don't know why, but
it'll take time. Eventually you'll get there to that point. And it's once you really take ownership of the change that you're delivering to your members, it'll become much, much easier. So try and get your headspace to that area, which can be easier said than done. But if you focus on that as opposed to like the actual thing at hand, the problem isn't the community, the thing. It's a mindset thing. So you have to really embody the person that's like, well, I mean, you can keep doing it for free, but I know your life will be easier if you buy this thing, so you should just buy this thing.
Yeah. That's so true. So what are you going to do? Was Sarah saying, what are you doing to ground out some of that energy? It's important to ground or work out. Just go scream at the full moon Thursday. Oh, well, that's the thing,
so
right?
fucking important though, dude. Like that's one of the things I teach and like coach my high ticket clients, and a lot of them are like, hustle, hustle, hustle. Let's, go, 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 go. I'm like, so you just went and held space for these, 30 dudes you took on this retreat, and now you're like on the call with me. Like, did you take some time for yourself to like recenter and like ground out some of that? Like whether you're holding space for other people or you've got like that kind of nervous energy that you're talking about. Like, and it's going to be different for every person, right? Like whether it's, dancing and screaming and howling at the full moon or like going to like do high intensity workouts or like dancing or whatever, like sitting in the grass with your bare feet and sunshine in your eyes. Like everybody's going to look different, but it's so fucking key. So then you can come back to the work and you don't have that like nervousness as much. Like that's what helps as you're like pushing these growth edges. It helps you be able to do that without so much crazy mind fuckery happening.
Well, that's the thing about being in the music industry. It's like we get to really express it, like with producing or just DJing, right? And like I play drum and bass, and I'm sure Rosita's is the same. She plays like hard techno or like dance. It's like so much energy, and so that's kind of good. And but at the same time, I think I'm like more nervous of the fact that like I don't want to ruin relationships that like I have with like fans, because a lot of them, like they've been my fans for like, some of them have been fans for years, you know, and it's a weird thing, and like a weird intimate thing that like someone that really likes you for you, and then you're out here trying to, it makes, I feel like I'm like, oh, am I being a fucking dickhead doing this? Even though I know in the back of my head that like, if they really want to do this, like this is the way to do it when it comes to music, you know, but it just feels, I don't know, sometimes it just feels so off.
It's a nervous system expansion. Like you're pushing that growth edge, and you got to remember, like you're still you, dude. Like these fans that have been following you for years, like you know that rule of 1, 4, 7, 11, whatever the hell it is. Like, you know, consuming this amount of content before they become, you know, buyers. You know, they've been doing that, and it's okay. It's okay that they're buying something from you. It's okay if they don't buy. Like everything happens just the way it's supposed to, when it's supposed to, and we don't need to worry about all of the rest of the stuff.
Just gotta trust in the process. And I think if I can like just learn to kind of just enjoy it a lot more and stuff, and that, I guess that's why it's good doing it with a mate, because they're just like, oh, it's all good, let's go for a walk, and like, yeah, let's do it.
And what gets really fun is when you start learning to enjoy, and Ryan's going to talk here in a minute, I'm sure, all about this sort of thing, because he's king at this. You enjoy, like you get to the point where you start enjoying leaning in. You like lean into the hard, and you look forward to the hard, because you know what comes on the other side is so much more worth it than what you're sitting in right now.
Well, quickly, you know, when you go on stage, you know how like if you are preoccupied about yourself, ego driven, and you fuck off, and, you know, and you don't do a good job. But when you make it about your dance floors and you give it all to them, then the power of that makes a synergetic exchange of joy, and it's like more powerful than anything else. The same way in your sales, you are doing them a favor by giving them what they need, and you're doing them a disservice for not sharing, you know?
I gotta definitely look at it that way for sure. Because it is something that they need, but it's like it's such an annoying thing, because like I think there's that gap where like they don't know it's what they need, and like I just want to like sometimes I'm like yelling at them, they laugh at it, you know, because when I have to these webinars, I'm literally like, if you want to freaking do music and can't be bothered posting content, just fuck off. And I'm just there like, and then they just like, you know, record that shit. But it's I don't know, sometimes it's a hard one, because music creators don't generally have a lot of money, you know. They're not there for money, they're there to like for art. So like sometimes I just feel fuck like trying to sell them something. But I think I gotta just like remember that it's for their own good. Like I'm actually genuinely trying to help. Sometimes I just forget.
Hey Quincy,
you and Josh do a great job in the calls. You're freaking, you're a blast. I was watching the replays. I'm like, yo, you guys are raging. You guys are like, you know, calling each other cunts and yelling at the students. It's great. I love
it. That's culture right there, man. That's fucking community, dude. Ryan, chime in, man. You don't have to be formal. Just put that hand out. Scream.
Well, I don't know how to do the images. I don't know. Should I just go like this, like while I talk or something? Anyways, Quincy fired me up, and I actually can empathize very much from this idea of like, okay, do I feel like I'm taking advantage of these people because they trusted me and I offered something free? And here's the beauty of it is when people know, they do. So what I mean by that is they might yet. And sometimes, yes, you have to give them what they think they want, so you can give them what they need. Sure. But there's nothing wrong with these. This is about fun, right? Just like you said, you want to make it fun. Well, guess what? There's going to be a moment where some guys do leave your program, but that doesn't mean you write them off. You can market to them, because guess what? Because you're so good, all the people that stay are going to have these wins, and you can message every single one with a silly voice note, just like you said, say, hey, let me show you what happens when, or just, you can ask them, where are you at right now? You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
you're not doing it, because if you were doing it, I'd see the content on your page. I've seen nothing. And check this, Bobby here stayed, and look at what he's doing, right? And so what you're doing is you're reinforcing their loss will reinforce the oh shit factor. I can't tell you how many people I have in my high ticket community, or however fancy language we say, due to just not doing it. Like, I'm messaging them later and saying, hey, how's that extra 20 pounds on your gut feel? Yeah, I love you.
Oh my God.
Right? You know, like, but it's silly, right? It's never shaming. It's just like, I know this is not what you wanted to do, because you wouldn't have joined my program if you didn't have this other vision for yourself. And so it's if you look at it that way, you can't lose, because you have these relationships that are not stemmed on them serving you. It is you serve them no matter where they are at.
Yeah.
And that is, they see that, and you're honest with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I feel that from you. And so I wouldn't worry at all. I would just be happy, fun, pick on the guys that leave, don't
Yes.
shame them,
No,
but
this
like,
is
all
crazy,
right,
yeah.
well, hey, compare them. You should follow their stats.
Yeah,
while
I've just
you
been
follow your
roasting them. Yeah.
Yeah, just,
Literally.
it's all part of the game. They know your energy. They already know. Sounds like you use the word cunt in your group. So there you go. Anyways, that's all I got to say, but perfect.
Appreciate you. Oh,
That's
man.
incredible. Michelle, I love that idea. Entrepreneurs Anonymous. I swear to God, I think I have to do a call later today. I think I might just include this group on it and call it Entrepreneurs Anonymous. Can I steal that, Michelle?
That's so good.
Of course, yes. I know. It's like I
All
feel
right.
like there's been so much therapy on this call today for everyone.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, and that's the point, is you have no idea how crazy it is, how many countries you can go to, and the conversations at this level are the same, but almost everyone is separated from each other. And and that's what to me is the most crazy, is that this mindset is so unique. Like you don't realize it, but the people on this call is a great example of how we oftentimes will get lost thinking that, we're just the anomalies and there's not really any other people that are operating or thinking like that. And it's kind of true. So it's even more important for us to have this thing. Like this helps every single one of us get through it.
Right.
And no one articulates it better than Ryan, really.
Good job, Ryan.
Yeah, he needs a podcast, 100%.
Oh, dude. Ryan, what would you call your podcast?
Dude, I have Entrepreneurs Anonymous. Just kidding. I have no idea. Yes, but thank you. It means the world. I really do care, guys, as you do too, or else you wouldn't do these things. So, and just remember, that's how you change lives. You create meaning in people's lives. So.
There was something you were calling it, but I forgot. It was fucking genius. It was 2 calls ago. It was something Ryan-ness or Ryan something.
I don't know. Some people say when I talk, they call it Ryanese.
Maybe that.
Yeah, from the nation of Ryan. Yeah. What was it, Rosita? Do you remember?
It was something like Ryan-ness. I'm not sure if it's the exact same word, but it was like the essence of Ryan something. Like Ryan something.
Ryanisms?
Maybe.
Ryanisms, maybe.
Yeah,
that was it.
That's what it was. Ryanism.
Yep, there
Yeah,
you
it
go.
was a Ryanism.
Well, I'll have to. You guys, I'm sitting. Okay, so my new spot. I usually do everything outside. I'm walking, but I found space in my closet, so I live in my closet right now. You can use all the closet jokes you want, but there's a box right here that's full of podcast equipment that I haven't opened. So that's out there now. You guys know.
Come out of the closet.
I'm a big talker. It's it's time to come out of the closet, podcast closet. Sounds like.
You know what's really crazy is actually, and this one's for everybody who has a bunch of equipment for their podcast. We just started shooting podcasts with people while we travel. We haven't come up with a name for it, so if anyone has an idea, it runs for 20 minutes and then it cuts off like immediately. And there's like a lightning round at the beginning and at the end, so it's kind of stupid. And we're usually walking. So we did this in Budapest with a couple of folks, and I've been wanting to do it for the longest time with people that aren't like necessarily making the most money, but usually like the weirdest and most unusual. So basically everyone here would be an awesome fit. Now, I think you tell me like what IRLs that you're coming to, but I am going to, yeah, exactly. I got to come back. Flock with geese, or what the flock?
What about duck, duck, goose?
That's pretty good, actually. That's really good. That was what we played in England all together. We had ages 18 to like 64 all playing duck, duck, goose in a circle. That's also good. Goose fuckery. That's quite
Gooseonomics.
yeah. That one sounds too intimidating. You know, the book that I was writing from last year, which I put on pause because the story is currently happening, so we're like adding parts to it right now. I called Silly Money because it was kind of like a double entendre. So that one could somehow tie into it, but even that sounds a little bit not totally me. So I don't know. I'm working on that bit from there. But the point is, Ryan, when you're talking about doing a podcast, you don't need the equipment. I have 2 DJI mics that I spent they were like $200 for these cute little like mini ones, and they're fine. And we pin them to our shirt and we just like walk around in the city while someone's filming, and then that's it. And then we like sit and stand. Like there's one where we climbed onto the bridge, the main bridge in Budapest. And it was awesome. So yeah, I'd say ditch the gear and just go walk outside.
That's my style.
That's what I'm saying.
Love
dude. Well, yeah, you got to get out of that closet and walk outside.
Yeah, you'd just be so good at like interviewing people, Ryan. I reckon. You know what I mean? Like one of those goes street interview reporters type peeps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love talking with people. It's my favorite thing, asking them questions. So you're right, Quincy. Thank you.
This has been fantastic, you guys. I love these calls so much. I really enjoy this. Thank you all for being so fucking weird. I'll make a post. I've gotten another nugget from this one. Sarah, you helped put it in the right direction there. So I'll share that soon. And any of the ideas that you had for the podcast name, maybe we'll put the first one up. We did it with D Green because he was at the Budapest one, and that one's really fun. Yeah, but I'd love to hear your ideas from all of that. But in any case, you are all fabulous. I love you all. I'll chat with you all very soon, and we'll have a call later today potentially. I'll surprise you with it later. Chat with you guys soon. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.
Bye.